On day one, I will fire Gary Gensler. Whoa. Bitcoin and crypto will skyrocket like never before.
And I'm going against Elizabeth Warren, who wants to ban the self-custody of Bitcoin in the United States. She went on Meet the Press and she told Chuck Todd that America is ready for a Federal Reserve-issued CBDC.
Well, we're still in early days. So I think we need to get the basic building blocks still built. Again, even in the EU with MiCA, once it's adopted, we still have the member states need to get to the level 2 rulemaking.
Yes.
And that the people should be telling us what to do. So we've been meeting while we've been in town here in Nashville with various individuals who are helping us understand.
I will sign another executive order directing the U.S. Treasury to purchase 550 Bitcoin daily until the U.S. has built a reserve of at least 4 million Bitcoins.
Turn these on quickly, but when you think about the big wirehouses, the private bank platforms, none of them have really opened them up to their advisors yet. Typically that takes multiple years, and they're actually, in many cases, expediting those processes in light of.
This afternoon, I'm laying out my plan to ensure that the United States will be the crypto capital of the planet and the Bitcoin superpower of the world. And on day one, I will fire Gary Gensler and appoint a new SEC chairman. This is all common sense that we're talking about today. And Bitcoin and crypto will skyrocket like never before, even beyond your expectations. And you are the people that are doing a new Trump economic boom. You're going to have a tremendous boom. This country is going to be boomtown.
Know what you hold?
Enjoy the ride, pal.
If you got some bags, welcome to the party. Welcome back to some more Moon O'Clock News. No breakfast, no coffee, just straight extra. Bullishness. Shout out to the latest sub. Appreciate you stopping by, tuning in, smashing those likies, stuffing some baggies. We got Donald Trump over at the Bitcoin conference dropping some bombs. He says on day one, he's going to fire Gary Gensler. He also says he's going to make the USA the crypto hub of the world. He also says cryptocurrencies are going to skyrocket. We got the total global cryptocurrency market cap today at 2.5 trillion, down about 1.2% in the past 24. We got XRP currently in the number 7 spot, right around 59 cents. Stellar XLM in the number 30 spot, right around 10 cents. We got BTC 67,497. We got ETH right around 32 hundo. Plur Networks right around 0.019. XLR 66 cents. We got XDC right around 3 cents. Stronghold 0048. We got Songbird right around 009. Zahao right around 5-6 cents. Evernote right around 11.5 cents. We got a lot of interesting and exciting stuff popping off over at Bitcoin Conference 2024. Chad Steingraber. Elizabeth Warren wants to ban self-custody, wants to monitor everything in your bank account over 600, wants CBDCs that have tracking capabilities and the ability to approve or deny transactions they deem unacceptable. We got Bitcoin Magazine. John Deaton announces he has 82% of his entire net worth in Bitcoin.
Thank you, and it's great to be here. Listen, I'm from Detroit, Michigan. That's where I was born. Single mother on welfare and food stamps in one of the worst neighborhoods in America in the last 40 years, called Highland Park, Detroit. And listen, when I read the Bitcoin white paper in December of 2016, I thought of my mother. Because I remember standing in line, watching her debase herself because she couldn't keep a minimum bank deposit. So she had to go to those check cashing stores that you see in the hood. And I saw her beg them, can you please take not 20% or 15%? We need that money for food. So when I read the Bitcoin white paper, I thought of her, and I thought of how we can eliminate the predatory fees of the banks and the middleman. When I was in college, I would send my mother money to help with my younger 2 siblings. I'd send her $100. It would go through Western Union. They would take $12 or $15. And so listen, when they're not looking, that's where you pay attention. I just disclosed to the Federal Election Commission that my net worth 82% in Bitcoin, baby. And I'm going against Elizabeth Warren, who wants to ban the self-custody of Bitcoin in the United States. She went on Meet the Press and she told Chuck Todd that America is ready for a Federal Reserve issued CBDC. George Orwell is rolling over in his grave, and I'm looking you in the face and telling you, I'm going to beat Elizabeth Warren.
We got XRP drops to Alderati on the regulation of crypto.
Policymakers all over the world finally realizing that the crypto economy is here to stay. It's an innovation that is not going to go away. Without clear rules, if you're going to try to enforce in the absence of rules, you're going to create chaos. I think when it comes to regulating new technology, it's important that you don't regulate the technology, because policymakers will never move as quickly as the technology is developing, and policymakers will never fully understand the technology. What are the risks of the activity and the outcomes of the application of the technology? And that's what we should be regulating. Same risk, same regulatory outcomes. So, well, we're still in early days. So I think we need to get the basic building blocks still built. Again, even in the EU with MiCA, once it's adopted, we still have the member states need to get to the level 2 rulemaking. So I still think we need the fundamental building blocks. Beyond the fundamental building blocks, there are some very complicated issues that need to be solved for. I think the facts have proven out that the regulation by enforcement agenda or strategy has failed.
Senator Cynthia Lummis of Government Controls the Money, They Control Us. It's time to stop the Biden administration war on Bitcoin. Let's pave the way for financial innovation, not stifle it.
We created the federal government, not vice versa.
Yes.
And that the people should be telling us what to do. So we've been meeting while we've been in town here in Nashville with various individuals who are helping us understand how to right-size statutes and how to right-size regulations. One of the problems right now is that we don't have a clear regulatory framework in statute that can govern what is a commodity, what is a security, and what kind of rules need to be complied with in order to protect consumers but not stifle growth. That's the sweet spot we're looking for. We don't want to stifle growth, but we want to make sure that where appropriate, consumer disclosure is made available. And frequently that is the cut between securities and commodities.
100%.
Got Good Morning Crypto. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. states that he plans to sign an executive order for the U.S. government to buy 550 Bitcoin per day until a reserve of 4 million BTC is established.
I will sign another executive order directing the U.S. Treasury to purchase 550 Bitcoin daily until the U.S. has built a reserve of at least 4 million Bitcoins and a position of dominance that no other country will be able to usurp. Our nation holds approximately 19% of global gold reserves. This policy will give us about the same proportion of total Bitcoin. The cascading impact from these actions will eventually move Bitcoin to a valuation of hundreds of trillions of dollars. I will sign another
We got one from Jimmy Castro. BlackRock says that the big money hasn't arrived yet. They haven't turned it on yet. They're expediting the process.
As I said yesterday, one of the biggest ETF launches in history, if not the one. And what's interesting to me is how big the assets in Bitcoin ETFs are now relative to the ecosystem, right? It's coming up on 60 billion relative to a $1.5 trillion asset, let's call it ballpark. There's only double that amount in gold bullion ETFs, and gold bullion is worth about 15 trillion in market cap, so it's 10 times as big. So the impact is starting to become a little bit of a whale in the Bitcoin ecosystem.
Robert, is it a passing fad? What do you guys think is going on over at BlackRock?
Well, I think what's interesting, James, is that we're still pretty early in the rollout of these, right? It's only been 6 months. Yes, the flows have been tremendous, but when you think about the client segments, iShares and similar for VanEck and Bitwise that we serve, it really breaks down into end investors, direct, wealth advisory, and institutional. And that first segment from day one came kind of storming out of the gates. There was huge demand, and that drove a lot of the flows. But in the other two segments, it's still quite early in their journey. When we talk about institutions, there's a long research, diligence, exploration process that requires a lot of education. We're on that journey with a lot of our institutional clients today. The wealth advisory space, the RIA channel, which is a subset of it, turned these on quickly. But when we think about the big wirehouses, the private bank platforms, none of them have really opened them up to their advisors yet. Typically, that takes multiple years, and they're actually, in many cases, expediting those processes in light of what tremendous success there's been. But none of them have actually turned it on yet.
Yeah, so there's those three levels. There's like fully restricted. You can only, then the next level is like basically you can only buy it.
Meanwhile, Kamala Harris' campaign seeks reset with crypto companies. Vice President team aims to improve relations after industry criticism of the Biden administration. Meanwhile, we got Donald Trump says he wants the United States to be the crypto capital of the planet and the Bitcoin superpower of the world.
This afternoon, I'm laying out my plan to ensure that the United States will be the crypto capital of the planet and the Bitcoin superpower of the world, and we'll get it done. If crypto is going to define the future, I want to be mined, minted, and made in the USA. It's going to be. It's not going to be made anywhere else. And if Bitcoin is going to the moon, as we say, it's going to the moon, I want America to be the nation that leads the way, and that's what's going to happen.
Got another one from Donald Trump says on day one, he will fire Gary Gensler. Gary, you're fired.
Elizabeth Warren and her goons, and she's very nasty to you. She hates your people. She hates everything about you. Will keep their hands off Bitcoin. They're going to keep their hands off crypto. They're going to let it grow. We're going to let it grow. On day one, I will fire Gary Gensler and appoint a new SEC chairman. I didn't know he was that unpopular. Wow. I didn't know he was that unpopular. Let me say it again. On day one, I will fire Gary Gensler. Whoa. And we'll appoint a new SEC chairman who believes America should build the future, not block the future, which is what they're doing. And Kamala Harris wants to make him Treasury Secretary. That's not good. That's not good. He was Hillary Clinton's finance person. Did you know that? Crooked Hillary. Remember Crooked Hillary? Do you remember her?
Gary, you still there? And last one here, cryptos will skyrocket.
This is all common sense that we're talking about today, and Bitcoin and crypto will skyrocket like never before, even beyond your expectations, and you are the people that are doing it. As we stop the war on crypto, we will immediately, and we'll do this very quickly, begin to build our economy, because when America is prospering, Bitcoin is soaring, and it'll go up with it. We had the greatest economy ever, and we will soon have it again. We will replace the Biden-Harris economic stagnation with a brand new Trump economic boom. You're going to have a tremendous boom. This country is going to be boomtown. It's going to be booming like it never boomed before. The current administration's economic plan includes trillions in new spending and $5 trillion tax hikes. They want to increase taxes by $5 trillion. They want the expiration of the Trump tax cuts to take place. They want a wealth confiscation tax so that when you make all of your money that you're going to make and all of the people you're going to employ, they want to take away your money in the form of a first-time ever tax and a gigantic capital gains tax that will exceed substantially in many states over 50%. My plan is the opposite. We will lift the workers and we will create savers out of so many people, and we will reward success. We will not punish success. They want to punish success. They want to punish genius. Not going to let that happen. I will make the Trump tax cuts permanent and deliver massive tax cuts for families and individuals and businesses that produce jobs. I will cut unnecessary and burdensome regulations, fight every day to make America the best place on earth to build a business, including a crypto business. It's going to be the best place. You're not going to have to go to China. You're not going to have to learn, how do I learn Chinese? I want to learn it very quickly.
If Trump likes Bitcoin, then he's going to love XRP. Faster, cheaper, more efficient, eco-friendly, no more middleman. XRP, not a security, also USA to become the crypto hub of the world. I hope you got those bags packed, locked and loaded. The best is still yet to come. Crawl, walk. Then we rock it. Where will those bags be when that regulation jar of molasses finally breaks open and XRP's true price is finally revealed?
Big bags.
Later glitches.
Welcome to the show. I told you so. I told you so. We're gonna be driving Lambos. We're gonna take a trip to Fiji. All in all, the laborers.
Batman. Crypto be our passion, cause what you focus on, you attract like a magnet. Got diamond hands, we hold till we blasting. It's universal law.